No one wants to hear about the sixth couple, Harry and Meghan, and their victim mentality. It's growing stale and mouldy like a piece of week-old bread. Their constant need to gripe about their alleged treatment as royals makes the public turn their backs. Meghan told about a South African cast member of The Lion King reimagining, telling her that her marriage to Harry was celebrated like Nelson Mandela's freeing from prison. Several people have an issue with this. Actor John Carney, who voiced Rafiki in the film, told the Daily Mail he was the only South African actor in the cast and wasn't at the London premiere with the Sussexes. Now, there is more to this story. Keep the keyword cast in your mind for a moment. There were the other South African people at the premiere, one of which was Lebo M, who worked on the music and is not a cast member. He has debunked that he did not mention Nelson Mandela to Meghan, and their conversation lasted barely a minute. ET Canada said the famed vocalist, who's worked on multiple The Lion King projects on screen and stage, did not remember such a conversation. Perez Hilton went one step further and said a video from the event backs Lebo M's account. According to PH, the less than a minute exchange went as follows. "It's an honour to meet you. Everyone in South Africa's heard of Meghan Markle." There is a little more, but it's irrelevant to the overall narrative. Lebo M gave the Sussex farewell pleasantries and they moved on to Pharrell Williams. How'd you get a small greeting muddled with a giant comparison? Easy. This is Meghan we're talking about. She over-inflates every narrative she tells to make herself seem more important than she actually is. Meanwhile, ahead of their trip to Germany, the Markles are already getting the press they deserve. This is the cover of Bild magazine, the biggest in Germany. It reads, "Meghan's insane list of lies, Princess Pinocchio in full swing." Bild is the best-selling European newspaper, and it dedicated one whole page to expose Princess Pinocchio. How are the Markles going to twist that? So first, we have Votek Meghan Markle, and now Princess in Pinocchio. Very proud of you, Meghan. You're getting the global recognition you so wanted. Sussex's UK trip is nothing more than a private visit. A vain attempt designed to prop up their plummeting popularity, which a few crappy podcasts by Me on Spotify has not done. Both are shunned by the US political establishment and the Hollywood A-listers, as they have nothing to offer besides a couple of tarnished titles, so they have to create their own oxygen if they're to survive as public figures. Because, of course, this pair of posers are no longer working royals, and they do not live in the UK. They carry out precisely no activities on behalf of the royal family, or heaven forbid the British government or Commonwealth. The UN was perhaps the one bright spot on their limited horizon, but it wasn't to be, and they just made fools of themselves before an empty plenary chamber where Harry tried to purloin Mandela's status to make a nothing speech, and look how well that went. So they stumble around the world, back to the familiarity of the UK, desperately seeking relevance and some attention and a spot in the limelight. Where else can they go? They strong-arm old connections close to their heart in the hope of some much-needed exposure. Charities, Invictus, but to be sure nobody new wants to be associated with them. The Dusseldorf trip was a little bonus. They don't seem to realise, or perhaps they don't care, that the more people see and hear them, apart from a few groupies and their PR pays to cheer them, the more most are turned off by their self-serving sanctimony, but maybe even total derision is better than total obscurity for them.